Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 17 of Direwolf20's Let's Play of Mechanical Mastery, where today I am tired of being low on, and I was like, fresh out of iron. And I'm like, where did all my I automated iron production, how am I low on iron? Right? So one thing I did is I sped up iron production by turning this into, I was like, alright, that's probably why I'm out of iron. I've been turning all my iron into steel so that it can, you know, do the thing. So, number one, I'm tying up my iron production. Number two, every time I try to craft something with steel, it doesn't work. Number three, I'm tying up auto crafting with steel production. It's time to dedicate a steel processor here. So that's what I am working on. So I've got energized smelters and metallurgic infusers and another energized smelter and another energized smelter and another enrichment chamber, and that should be fun. So let's do this. Let's get... I made some logistical transporters. I'm going to get, from Project E, I probably want at least tier 2 links, right? That's probably a good idea. And what I was thinking I would do is pop them here and here. Bing, bang, boom. And then we could have you and you, but not connected. I'm going to want this guy. There you go. And you'll pull and you'll pull. Okay. Now you are going to be configured to input on the left and auto output to the right. Okay. And you're going to be configured to input on the left and auto output on the left, or input on the right, auto output on the left. Cool. And then you, enrichment chamber, will input here, output to the back and to the left. And then you two will input from the back and push to the right. You will input in the back and push to the right. You will also input from the left. And then you will input and output auto eject. And that should be cool. So what should happen, if I set this up correctly, we get some coal and some iron ore. Okay, iron will start here, and then he'll get smelted once I do this. Okay. Now I'll speed this up in a minute, right? So you're going to want to be 80-ish speed upgrades. Does that sound cool? And 80-ish energy upgrades. Does that sound cool? So you're turning raw iron. Now, I could be processing this more efficiently. I am not denying such a thing. It is absolutely a fair statement to say that I could do this more efficiently. I could use the thermal things, but then I'd have side outputs, and then obviously we could, until I can really, you know, go crazy with it and get some good stuff going before I go further. So for now, I'm just going to go smelting. We're going to keep it simple. It's yellow that we want this guy to be, so we're going to make him extra yellow, and we're going to do the same with you, extra yellow in the back. Okay. Now I make this guy be coal ore, right? And coal should now be getting smelted. Okay. And then you should be making enriched carbon, which will go here and, okay? And I could absolutely tier upgrade these things, but we're going to see how it goes. We'll see if I need tier upgrades or not, right? Obviously, we're doing upgrades, but that's, you know, it is what it is, right? And you guys can go away then. Is using it, and, whoops, this thing is using it, right? So we're waiting for this enriched carbon to back stuff, and we could help it along by just speeding it up a little bit. Now, obviously, you have to also be sped up if you want to speed this up, but the plan is to let this guy start building up his enriched carbon, and then we'll see if we're net gaining, right? Okay. And then you're making the steel, which will go into here, which will now make the gears for me. Cool. And it looks like he's keeping up pretty good, actually. If you notice, we're... maybe not. We'll see. We'll see if he's keeping up good enough. But let's see how enriched carbon's doing. So the goal would be to see enriched carbon net gaining here, which it is, without breaking a sweat, right? Like, we can absolutely tell that, yes, we're using enriched carbon, but we're definitely backstuffing, because we have way more than we started with a few seconds ago. Cool. So that's working, right? This is breaking even-ish, right? And this is building up, which means we're gonna eventually backstuff this, which will backstuff this, which will backstuff this, and yada, 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 yada. This guy's gonna be backstuffed as well pretty soon. So we might want to speed up the metallurgic infusers here and the energized smelters, but we'll see what this does. So this guy's actually backstuffing on steel gears, which is kind of a good sign. So this actually might be good enough, and I don't need to tier upgrade these. And if I don't have to tier upgrade these, then that'll be good enough for now, at least until we get stuff going. Between episodes, I had a little bit of a brainstorm, and I think this is going to work. And that's what I needed. So I didn't have enough iron to make this from Laser IO. And I decided, hey, why am I low on iron? And that's when I got into the whole let's do this other thing. But anyway, where was I? Here. I want this to go here. So you, sir, no longer connect to this. I want you to bind to these two, just to have a little bit of a nicer laser. So what if I did this? What if I used a brass funnel here? We set this up last episode, remember? But I want to filter only oak wood king's ingots, and we're placing them right here on the orange channel, as you can see. So now, from create, if I came here and said, hey, give me, I don't know, 4 brass casings and 4 andesite casings, or 5, let's say, look what it's doing. Cool. Both can be crafted on the same production line now. That works for me. Does that work? Because I think that works. I think that's super cool. I think that's 100% the way to go. Right? I think that's super cool. And then it obviously worked, and then we obviously got our andesite and brass. Both from the same production line. So no need for separate production lines for these guys. We can just, you know, put items in here, and then boop, boop, and then in that. And that's, right? Isn't that cool? I think it's cool. Agree? Agree. All right. So that is pretty good and automated now. And that saved me a lot of gearing and all kinds of other stuff. And if you notice, this whole system is probably running faster than it was before, which is good, right? Like, that's pretty cool. I don't remember how fast it was running before, but it's running faster, and that works for me. We have plenty of gravel here. We have plenty of andesite. I think gravel is being void upgraded, right? Yes, and that's why. And that's fine. I don't care. I'm cool with gravel being void upgraded. I'm 100% fine with that. What is this? What are you doing? Why do you have a mechanical belt here? Probably because I broke something. And why are you here? You should not be there. And now you're cool? Everybody's happy now? Yeah, probably what happened is... I don't know what happened, but something happened. But we're good now. And everybody's going to be friends again, right? Yeah, everybody's going to be friends again. That's right. Works for me. So... this thing is better. Now let's get into mechanical crafters, right? So I know crushing wheels are going to be some of the bigger ones, right? That needs 21. Let's do 25, just so we can do a 5x5. Does that seem cool? Yeah, I think that seems cool. So I want mechanical crafters. Do I not have any craft? This up. We could put it like here. Would be cool. And that would be good times. Sleeping through the night. Well, thunderstorm. Okay. So what we're going to want to do then is have everything feed this way, right? And then everything will feed down, and then that'll be your output chest. Does that sound cool? Provider under him. And then you're going to be responsible for crafting some stuff, right? Now, what I'm going to want my pattern provider to do for this instance is you should absolutely be configured to do not push crafting ingredients of inventory. Ignore the contents of the target. Lock crafting until redstone pulse is received with redstone. One thing, right? And I'm going to put it on blocking mode 2, though I don't think I need that. So what this should do is make it so that when we request a craft, it will put one batch of resources in here and then lock down the crafter so that it can't accept any more items until the thing that we crafted gets given to us. And then we should be cool. Right? I think? Maybe? So if I came down here and we gave you a gear, a cogwheel for that matter, boop, and we did this and that, can you also... You do that, because that would be super cool. Hey. That's what I was looking for. Yes, so now you guys are all running. That's neat. You know what might be a good idea, too? What if I did my... stressometer dude. I pulled him off of the thing upstairs a while back, but I should be able to just pop him right into there, and everybody's groovy. See, we got plenty of stress available. Remaining capacity 16. I'm gonna like stop you for a sec. Does that mean that I'll have more stress available? See, now I've got, nope, still 16. 65,000 by 2 engines. Okay. I guess... Shouldn't we be 32 then? Guess not. Are these guys maxed out at 16? They might be maxed out at 16. That's okay. But yeah, that's not the direction I want you to be. That's the direction I want you to be. Sweet. Alright. And then in theory, I should be able to put... If I put a vertical gearbox here, would that... Or will that break all the things? Yeah, see, that breaks all the things. But if I put 2 vertical gearboxes here, that would be cool. And now you're at 32,000. Cool. Good times. Alright, now for your auto-crafting, I'm thinking laser IO, right? For item insertion. That's probably your best bet, I would think. That's going to need a wall of laser IO, obviously. But I think we can handle that. And then we're going to need, obviously, a bunch of cards. Maybe not that much. Block of quartz. We're really low on quartz? How can we be low on quartz? You know why we're low on quartz? Because you are not in a drawer that compacts. We have a we can do that easily enough. What I could do is instead of... So I could remove these guys. Maybe. Yeah. Or I could import bus these guys into the drawer system that I currently have, right? I kind of want these to stay here. Mostly because of this thing's crafting. But I don't want these 2 to stay here. I want them to get imported. Or I could just say, right? And that wouldn't be terrible. And then I could request 100 cards, and that would be... Really? No, it does get confused when you do that, I think. So I'm going to have to come up with a little something better than that. I think we might need to import bus from here and then have it go into the drawer system. That would probably be what's up. Alright, so here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to place void upgrades in my Certus and charged Certus. And then, does gold have a void upgrade in it? He does not, but I should probably do so. Because I'm going to have gold nuggets. And then quartz should also get the void upgrade going on, right? And then what we could have is like this getting import bust, and then move this guy over here and keep these guys as is, I'm thinking. So I'm thinking I remove those top dudes up there, right? And then I probably would like to do this. This should be the right approach. Let's get you guys and you out. And then you... And we're going to need at least a few cards. Oh, that's right, I turned off your... Yoinks. Okay, so... White channel. Okay. and then extract on the orange channel, and I want you to be filtered. Well, no, you shouldn't need a filter, because you're going to insert on orange channel, okay? And then you guys can extract on white. This and that. And that should be cool. So if I do this, he should be filling back up with andesite, and then you're making more andesite. Now, in fairness, you also happen to have some andesite bricks in there and whatnot, because I never filtered you properly. So if I were to... Oh, good, you have that trash can spot-ish. Goodbye, you. Pulverized, yeah, I don't need you. Andesite, gravel, andesite, flint. Goodbye, everybody. Cool. So now if we're looking at this, and on the down, let's make sure that you're 8 at a time, and on the down, let's make sure that you're 8. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. To here. Now you're a P2P tunnel, so we probably want you to instead be P2P tunnel to here, right? And then memory card, where are you at? I'm pretty sure the last thing I used this for was the same line, so that should be fine. And then you storage bus this, and if we look at andesite now, we've got none, but I put, okay. Now, probably the smart play would be to have the drawer controller here with an import bus so that we save a channel, right? So if we made another drawer controller, okay, and then we would want an import bus with acceleration cards, right? And that's cool. Now you would not be here. You would be... the better place, we'll just do this. Okay, so now, with you with acceleration cards times 4, should be draining all the quartz out, and all the quartz is going where it belongs. And then the same will happen with gold, and then the same will happen with Certus, and then we will no longer have issues. Is that good times? I would say yes. Okay. So now we come down here and we check, and we should have plenty of that stuff. Right? Plenty of charge Certus, plenty of all that. Right? All the Certus, all that's there. And now with Laser IO, I can be like, yo, give me like 50 cards. And it's not a problem because we got plenty of quartz blocks. Okay? Is that cool? Alright, now let's start thinking about how we're going to set up Laser IO here, because we're also going to need a bunch of filters. You need bars, iron bars to be caught. What did I have? Filters for bars, yes, that. Boom. And that should be cool. Alright, so one of the things I'm going to... Too terrible to make, so I should be able to knock one of those out pretty easily. Done and done. And what I'll do is I'll add that to my automation line down here, right? So 2 things I'm going to want. I'm going to want the rolling mill, and then I'm going to want a press so that I can make this and this will be rolling mill recipes, and this will be press recipes. Cool. So we're going to want to make sure that this behaves the way I think it will, but I'm thinking it will. And then we'll see what happens. Ish. That's going the wrong direction, though, because in the interest of keeping everybody groovy, go here, and then here. Okay. And then we just need to see if this is cool, right? So what should happen for the rolling mill, if I want iron rod to test with, right? So is this going the right direction? It is. Sweet. And then popped off. Perfect. Cool. So then what I want to do here then is have one of you have some chests. And I don't know if I need you. Do I need you? I don't think I need you. Maybe not. So that'll be the rolling mill mechanic. And then you to you can be the stamper mechanic. Okay? And this will sit, the press will sit like that. And that should be cool. That should be cool. Now, I think what I'll do, just to keep things consistent, is have the gearbox here. And now you're ready to stamper it. Need a few more channels to come over here. So what I'm probably going to do from A2, let's have the Fluix dense cabling and then regular cabling and get, you know, a few more of those. And then I'm going to swap you out for a dense cable. Okay, so that you can now go out this way. So we've got 7 channels, or 6 channels, I guess. I thought you would be 7. Are you 7? Maybe you're 6. Whatever. Going that way. Okay. And then we can add a whole new set to here. And then we need a couple pattern providers. To go here and here. That's a dense cable. We don't want that one. We want the regular cable. Okay. And that should be... And on the up, we will extract on white. And on the up, we will extract on white. And that should be all she wrote for automating those guys. So now we come over here and we create the patterns for them, right? So we need you, which will be that. We need you, which will be another rolling machine recipe. And you already know how to make copper plates, so... Alright, and our sheets stuff goes here, and our this... Bing, bang, boom. And then they're doing the thing, right? And then, like, 10 copper wires and 10 iron rods should not be a problem. Cool? Look at it go. Easy peasy. Now, back to this setup. Let's get this going properly, right? So if I were to say, I want this pattern in here, all right, you're going to extract on this side. Okay, so you're going to be to these dudes, and you're going to be to these dudes, and you're going to be to this guy, right? And I'm just going to go up for each of these. Okay, so you can... Oh, that's not what I want to do. There you go. You were doing this and that, and then you were doing this and that. And that should be everybody behaving themselves. All right, so then you're going down. Now, each opposite face here, so that'll be the west side of everybody, will have an insert with an empty filter with an allow list, right? So I'm going to go do this all off camera because that's going to be like 30. All right, so now we should be cool. So if we look down the line, we'll see there's lasers connecting to everybody, so that means we should be groovy. All right, so let's set up our first pattern that we're going to want to have. So I don't need any of this anymore on here. I would like you to be able to make crushing wheels, though I don't know how many of those I'm going to need. I probably don't need you anymore, or you, or you, or you. You're done. Electric motor is pretty much what I'm going to want. You know what I should leave on here, though, is 3 the quartz dude. I should leave this guy here, because that's something we don't have automated yet. I need to do sandpaper, like polishing quartz. That will have to be another production line down there. Though, in fairness, I could go this route. That is way easier. That's like broken OP, but maybe. So to make this, we need this pattern. No, not that. This, right? So this guy is what we're going to put together. So let's put it here, right? So that is an andesite alloy, right? At the top? Yes. So on the west side, you can have andesite alloys. That's one alloy would be brass sheets. So let's do all the brass sheets. So we're going to do brass here. Right? So west side, add this guy, add this guy. Okay. And then a space, and then same deal here. West. Okay, so those guys are all covered. And then create its whatever this thing used for. Copper spool. Okay, those go here, here, and here. Okay, and then in the middle goes an iron rod. From Create Crafts. The engine. And in order for this to work, we're going to need a channel over here, which you happen to not be in a good position to have, aren't you? What I could do is bring this down one. I guess that would work. Or we could facade it. That doesn't sound fun either, though. I don't like the sound of that. Yeah, neither are great, to be honest with you. I'll facade it from here. That should be fine. Hey, Fluix cable. If I put you here, you're going to connect to that guy, right? So let's get an anchor. Prevent that. So now you'll be at 7 channels like I thought you were before. That'll bring you online. Okay. And if I wanted to, I could have a facade. I think it's just anchors around the block you want a facade, right? Is that still the recipe? Yep. Oh, fancy. Just no connected textures. Oh well, life goes on. And then we should be able to make an electric engine. And if I did this right, I should be able to request like 3 of these, no problem. You are missing iron rods from Immersive Engineering. Okay, so hold on. I need to reprogram this with the proper iron. And as stated, so they're making the stuff down there. I can hear like stamping happening and like all the wire pieces going on. Like all the stuff is being prepped. Okay. And then on this side, we will basically want to validate this. But you should now have 1 batch of everything. And if we look at the pattern provider, you'll see crafting is locked, waiting for 1 electric motor to enter the system before it unlocks. Okay. So let's take you. I'm going to actually make you an interface directly, because you should always just work. Okay. And we should have no problem running these cables. So remember, we were 7 here. Now we're 8. Okay, and we should be cool. 8 of 8. And everybody's online and happy? Yep, yep, yep. Okay, so now I just set you to extract mode. 1 item per tick, and they should go boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And then you probably need a redstone pulse, don't you? probably do. And then once it gets that motor, it should put the second batch in, right? You got the electric motor, so why you know... Does it have to be returned to this one? Ooh, it may need to be returned to this one. All right, so if I got an electric motor here, you ready? Hold on. So instead of this, we're gonna have a chest here. Have an extract on orange. Okay. And then here, on the west side, we'll have an insert on orange. Cool. So now if I give you an electric motor, boom, it just placed the next batch. Okay, good to know. One to get inserted, because Laser IO usually inserts nearest first. I'm going to make sure of that fact by making you a low priority. That doesn't guarantee that it'll go there last. Because what items are here? Andesite, brass, copper, capacitor might be the last one. I feel like he's going to insert the capacitor in the last slot here. If I were to push the button, and they craft. Okay, the capacitor's probably going to be the last slot. So what should happen is it should craft, it should return here. So the capacitor's the last item that's going to show up, right? So what if we said, hey, you're going to be the last item to get it, right? What if we said, I want you to sense the existence of a capacitor. And when you sense that, then we emit a redstone signal on the white channel. Does that sound cool? And I'll even make it so that you only check every 2 seconds, which should be pretty good. Okay, so give me some redstone cards. And as soon as I insert this here in output mode, this should work. Okay. And set this guy back to extract. See, look, he's crafting now. Boom. So what's happening is the Laser IO system can sense the existence of items, right? So what he's doing is he's saying, I detected there's a capacitor there. I'm emitting a redstone signal on channel 0 that is then immediately outputting to the same block, which is triggering the craft. Is that cool? So now I can say, make me an electric motor, and that shouldn't be a problem. Remember, it has to make a bunch of stuff before that, right? It has to make the wires and the things and the that and the that and the brass sheets, and all these things go together to make the electric motors, which are probably pretty OP and fun. And then this does that. Cool. Neato burrito. And then everybody's happy, and crafting's not locked. I'm going to wrap up. So we'll wrap up here. We'll come back next time. I've got electric motors now. Let's look at our quest book to refresh where we're at with everything. So this chapter is pretty done. There's probably a few things I can make to just knock out the completion of the chapter, but we'll get there. I should make crushing wheels at some point, and what I'll do is off camera, I will teach the system how to make crushing wheels and electron tubes. I really just need polished rose quartz, which I want to do this way, because that's the right way to do it. This just seems broken. So I'll do it this way. I'll just add it to the thing down there and show you next episode. And then with that done, we should be like really automated with All Things Create. Then when we come back next episode, we should really start working on these guys, this whole setup, so that we can get lots of the effigies and the blazing and all that cool stuff. However, it is now wrapping up point. So Darryl20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. You know what to do. Take it easy.